Hi there. My name is Greg Arganda, and I got a movie for you. I went to see this movie Heat some years ago when I was a little kid, and back then I couldn't really fully understand it. To me, it was at the time I couldn't fully appreciate of how special of a heist movie this really was, because I really think that it's fantastic. It's just absolutely a beautiful film by Michael Mann. It starred Robert De Niro as Neil McCauley and Al Pacino as Lieutenant Vincent Hanna, and I want to put Val Kilmer in there because I think his character was thoroughly interesting just because of how much you cared for him. I mean, these were bank robbers. All these guys were bank robbers, but the strange thing that Michael Mann is capable of doing is making you really, really care for these characters. I mean, the anti-heroes in this film, you just love. I mean, Robert De Niro wants to rob, he doesn't want to kill, but it's just so beautiful to see hero or anti-heroes that you really, really love, and this is the perfect example of a film that is capable of creating a armed robber. He does this for a living, but you love him. You love him a lot because he's just got like this style and just there's so much heart inside of him, and it's really just it's a great character movie. If you love character movies and you love movies where people talk and there's tons and tons of dialogue, Heat is the movie for you because while it delivers amazing action scenes, what really stands out for me is how good the dialogue in this film is. The sound usage in this film is also really, really good because every amount of gunfire that you hear in the film is incredibly realistic. I'm not going to go too far into that because I want more. Alright, you may find this weird, but I love the costumes in this movie. Why is that? Because while these guys are bank robbers, they're not just run-of-the-mill bank robbers. These guys they're decked out in these mafioso kind of suits, and they come with when the very first scene we get to see them robbing an armored truck, and they have hockey masks on, and it's just really, really cool. Even when Val Kilmer as Chris Schilleris, I can't say his last name, as Chris, even when in one of the scenes we get to see him sleeping over at Robert De Niro's house, he's tired, he's having a bad night. His wardrobe, he is just wearing an undershirt and some jeans. It perfectly describes the way his mindset is. I mean, he's run down, and his costume really, really depicts that. Also, my last thing that I'm going to say that I love about this movie is the coffee house scene between Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, because we get an intimate look into what their mindsets are. The cop willing to be a cop no matter how much he fucks up his life, and the robber who only knows how to rob, and it's so cool because they're such characters. I mean, this is a really great character movie. One bad thing is that this movie is a staggering 2 hours and 58 minutes long. If you're sitting there trying to watch other things or try to playing around, you're probably not going to get a lot of the great dialogue that happens in this film, so you really got to bunker down, and sometimes it's just not possible to do that. You got kids, you got other people around, and you got other things to do. It requires a lot of attention. He requires that Michael Mann attention. Also, one thing that did bother me is in a couple of the scenes, Al Pacino's character is written to, sound. He starts mimicking the way the thugs talk, and it sounds a little bit ridiculous when it's coming out of someone as old and disciplined as a cop, and played by Al Pacino is even weirder. And he's supposed to be like that, but sometimes it just does not sound natural. It's just like, wow, why is this old cop, sound like mimicking the way a thug talks? But, it really doesn't take away from the story because, I mean, he's such an interesting character that, you can look past his ridiculous, the way he talks sometimes to some of the thugs. But, you know what? I give this film 2 thumbs up. This is one-of-a-kind movie, a one-of-a-kind heist movie that you're not going to get to see very often. Really, it's one of the best heist movies that I've ever seen. I completely recommend it. It's like on International Movie Database, it's something like 183 out of their top 250 films, which is a really hard list to get on. So I say go check this out if you love crime dramas and if you love character movies, because this is a really character-driven movie, and that's really different since it's a heist movie. Well, not so different, because heist movies really depend on their characters, but this one goes above and beyond in the character department. Go check it out. Heat. Peace.